strange moment for me because it's this German company no one had ever heard of, and I was standing on the stage with Microsoft and Coca-Cola and IGEL explaining how you could deliver a beautiful Windows experience with a Linux operating system sitting on the edge, and it was a surreal moment for us in the company. And of course, we start to see more and more through COVID that devices need to have screens. We got out of the hardware business in November of last year, and even onboarding people in a way where the unboxing experience is just very frictionless. If we had more time, I would show it to you, but we have an onboarding service where it's literally you take a Lenovo device out of the box, you put in the language, the time zone, the Wi-Fi, and your email address, and in about 3 minutes it pulls down the profile, builds the device, and you actually never have some of the challenges of sort of the emulation of a desktop. You're just pulled right into your virtual profile, whatever that looks like. That's how we see it. When you think about the sort of value proposition that IGEL brings, we've radically break the Windows ratios of number of people that it takes to manage Windows devices. You go into the biggest banks and they'll be very proud of themselves that they can have, say, one person managing 800 Windows devices. Gartner will tell you it's still in the 250 range, but the big banks, they'll lock down their Windows image and they do some exotic things to do that. We have many customers where they have one person managing like 80,000, 100,000 devices. The security is also big, right? I sat next to, at RSA conference, I sat next to the CIO of Target, right? And he's like, I have 30 agents sitting on my Windows image. Mm-hmm. And every one of those agents and advanced security products cost money, and has to be managed. And so we our read-only operating system. There is nothing to put on top of IGEL. And this is always a fun conversation with CISOs and security groups inside of organizations when you're like, you do not need CrowdStrike anymore, right? Like, you do not need some of these advanced products. We're able to deliver a rich experience. Obviously, that's through the collaboration and great engagements we have with Citrix, VMware, Microsoft, Zoom, WebEx, Teams, all these companies. And this was an advantage of coming to the US. We now have a very large team that parks outside of these tech companies and really gets the development kind of torch moving. So we have the best Linux experience to sit under those collaboration tools. Talked about sustainability, and the savings is just dramatic, right? When you start talking about less people, less agents, and extending the life of hardware. Security, we're doing a lot more with security just because this is the number one reason why people are buying IGEL, and the Germans have done a lot with the security of IGEL, and we're trying to kind of expose it a little bit more in language that people will understand. Obviously, we think about prevention versus sort of the classic way of just stacking defense and depth, right? We're actually thinking about it in terms of the security engineered into the operating system and the management console. So, and how do we actually get on devices? We can either wipe a device, right over a Windows or a thin operating system. We also have this UD Pocket, just a thumb drive that you can boot to. Some of the companies we came to the rescue, that's actually how they got it quickly on the devices. Or the thing we're probably very proud of is that you can also buy it from the factory, loaded with IGEL. I mean, this is kind of like an amazing moment. We had an event back in April. We had HP, Lenovo, and LG basically there talking about how they're so invested in IGEL. They have SKUs. It's in their global price book. You can buy it from the factory with IGEL, just like you can get a Chrome or Windows. But in addition to the hardware, we have what we call the IGEL Ready program, and this is really the 130 technical integrations that exist inside of the IGEL OS. And I'll leave you with this: nothing great is done without channel partners. And as a guy who grew up in the channel, right, I started. And I've worked for a number of companies that have had sort of bifurcated strategies around channel. And so, I was thrilled to be able to be the leader of IGEL and basically do a 100% channel strategy. We do not sell direct. We only sell through value-added resellers, and I would say XenTegra puts the sort of value in value-added reseller, and they have been a partner of the year for IGEL 3 times. They have every certification that we've ever invented. Thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to getting to know all of you.